Hi everyone, Tim from QA1 here. Today we're working in the race shop. I'm going to talk a little rod end maintenance with you here. So I'm going to bring it back to the back corner here, right rear. Take a look at what we got going on. So one of the main maintenance things you want to do is just, check your linkage every week. Make sure you don't have any rod ends loosening up. A simple quick check is just, grab onto the linkage, move it up and down, left and right, and you can usually feel or even hear, it if it's loosening up. Another thing you always want to check is that you have good rotation on your linkage. That it's not that the rod ends aren't clocked differently, which won't allow it to rotate, because this can cause bind in your suspension. And that's not good because that's not what the rod end is there for. Another thing to note is that when you have an adjuster style such as this, which has a slot in it, when you loosen it up and you go to adjust your linkage up and down, do not use a hammer on the rod end itself. It can distort the housing and cause your rod end to go into bind. Moving along, we're going to jump up to look at this rod end here. This is a PTFE lined rod end, 3-piece, so it's got the housing, the race, and the ball, and it also has a PTFE liner in between the ball and the race. This one is maintenance free. You do not need to use any lubricant on it or grease. Just put it on, keep an eye on it. If it starts to get free, replace it. If you do have the non-lined rod ends, you can use some grease on those or some spray lube. But the PTFE lined ones, they work a lot nicer, they stay tight, they keep debris out of there pretty well. So I recommend you use those. Moving on to the left front here. Another thing to keep an eye on is, make sure you don't have any bind in your suspension with your rod end, such as the left front tie rod, and that usually is, a hard one that runs out of travel sometimes, just because of the camber gain in the left front, and you want to make sure you got enough spacers top and bottom, that your rod end is not binding on it. So if you do start running out of travel in your rod end, there's a high misalignment version, which will allow more movement for that. So these are just a couple things to keep an eye on for rod end wise on your race car. That's all I got for today. So if you have any more questions, you can call our tech line or visit qa1.net. Thanks.